The Department of Homeland Security highlights the lingering human costs of the Trump administration's family separation policy at the border. The report says more than 2,100 kids may still be without their parents despite recent efforts to reunite them. Vice President.
Okay, we're going back to this. This is the last thing I'm going to show you. Apparently, this is the guy. It does look like him. It's Zelda cosplay, not Link. Link is the female. Zelda is the male. Bitcoin is actually 100% fucking useless. Wait, what? Bitcoin slides 7% after U.S. ceases most of the Colonial Pipeline ransom. Wait, no way, dude. This is literally what we were talking about. Like, if you can't successfully do crime, what's the point? Straight up. Remember how we talked about this where I said, like, it's harder to fucking track Bitcoin and you guys were like, no, it's not. Well, I guess you guys were right. If you can fucking seize the crypto, then, like, that kind of defeats the purpose, right? I mean, anyway, let's play this.
Kamela Harris is in Mexico today to address the root causes of the immigration crisis after visiting Guatemala yesterday. Ed O'Keefe is in Guatemala City. Ed, how does the vice president plan to do that?
Well, good morning, Anthony. Another big day ahead for the vice president as she announced plans for the federal government to target human traffickers, or those people that help guide migrants across the U.S.-Mexico border, and plans to promote legal immigration from Central America and Mexico. The ultimate goal here is to help make it possible for people in this region to feel they no longer need to head north illegally. Vice President Kamala Harris arrived in Mexico last night. Before arriving, she said the focus is on bolstering a partnership with our next-door neighbors. Harris is continuing her first foreign trip since taking office, a tour that included a stern warning to would-be illegal migrants.
Do not come.
Bro, this is like just straight Trump shit.
Do not come.
Illegal migrants.
That's so funny. Like, I love, like, everyone is expecting the liberal, the liberal, endlessly empathetic, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris administration to finally solve the immigration crisis. Oh my God, what will they do? Kamala Harris literally flies down to Guatemala to be like, don't come. Okay. Like, I didn't realize the root causes of immigration, or the root causes of, like, an endless amount of people trying to immigrate to the United States was because traffickers. I didn't realize that the traffickers were forcing people at gunpoint to fucking, take this insane journey for thousands of fucking miles on foot and through water and shit, as they're, like, ducking and dodging rapists, animals, American authorities. Yeah, that's why they were coming. The root causes are us, motherfucker. It's literally us. We are the root causes.
Do not come. Do not come.
Hoping to alleviate poverty and crime that drives many to make the trek north, the Biden administration has committed more than $300 million to the region.
I have asked you what would bring the people of Guatemala hope.
As Harris met with civic and business leaders, she announced that the Departments of Homeland Security and Justice are launching a new task force targeting transnational crimes like human trafficking. And across Central America, the State Department will begin promoting legal ways.
Dude, this is great. I mean, this is literally what Trump wanted. I'm not even kidding, okay? You could turn around and be like, oh, well, what the fuck? Do you think that, like, we shouldn't be targeting traffickers? No, go ahead. But, like, if you think this is going to be anything but, like, international cooperation between, like, the military, the organized, like, units or militaries of, like, Guatemala, Honduras, like all these other countries, and ICE, which is already a plan that has been in existence and no different than, like, what Donald Trump's plan was for safe harbor, for, like, reinstating safe harbor laws for like first countries that you have to immigrate to, which ironically ended up with, like, Mexico being the country that, like, takes on all of this immigration instead of the United States. Then you're silly as fuck. It's literally just pushing the problem, or it's pushing the violence away from our borders to the borders of Mexico.
Is to immigrate to the U.S. But she's also using the trip to raise concerns with corruption across Central America. Do you consider the governments of El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, or any other in this region to be corrupt?
So, on the
So basically what the EU did with Turkey, yes.
issue of corruption, the conversation that I had with President Giammattei today was very frank and very candid, and I think this is a quality that he and I appreciate in each other.
I pressed Guatemalan President Alejandro Yamatei about critics who say that when it comes to corruption, he's part of the problem.
How many cases of corruption have I been accused of? I can give you the answer to that. Zero.
Back in Washington, Republicans like Senator Lindsey Graham question if the renewed American investment in Mexico and Central America is worth it.
I think the money alone won't fix that problem. People are going to keep coming by the hundreds.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? This is literally your plan, dog. Dude, American politics sucks, okay? It's just so stupid. I'm sorry, everybody. You can fucking try to, like, nitpick the tiny differences. Like, you could say it's not with the Guatemalan army. It's technically with, like, an anti-corruption task force that they're putting together. Or you can nitpick this and say, like, oh, it's actually very different because they're not saying, you know, Guatemalans are rapists or whatever. But, like, this plan is a continuation of the previous administration's plan. It's just that it doesn't have the hyper-reactionary conservative rhetoric attached to it. And that's pretty much it. If you want to truly address the root causes of mass immigration into the United States, it's the destabilization that occurs in these countries, and it's the fact that we continue to exploit them rather than allow them to grow, and rather than allow these countries to be able to take control over their own natural resources and whatnot. There is no ethical trade that occurs in countries like this, and that's a significant part of the problem. So, like, it's us. We are the ones who are largely responsible for the destabilization. So if you're saying, like, oh, we need to address the causes, and then you're like, oh, and in order to do that, it's corruption in these countries, like, I mean, that's certainly a problem. Corruption in these countries is a problem, right? But that's not the main problem. And you're not really addressing anything if you're just like, here's like a $10 million, not even $3 million, which is fucking nothing. And then Republicans turn around and cry about it as though it's like somehow different than what Trump was doing already.
Of thousands until we change our laws.
Now, that new government report we mentioned about 2,100 kids that may not yet have been reunited with their families acknowledges that in some cases there may have been reunifications, but the government has no record of them. The Department of Homeland Security also says that it will help reunite another 29 families in the coming weeks. All of this a reminder.
Now to the ongoing crisis down at the southern border.
So now then Kamala Harris is like asked about the border crisis. Like, what's going on with the border? Where's the crisis? As I've said before, there is no fucking border crisis. The crisis at the border has always been a crisis, I guess, depending on how you're looking at the issue, okay? Like, it's not, this is like the immigrant caravan. You can either look at it like it's a crisis because, like, immigrants are coming in, or you can look at it as, like, people are coming in seeking asylum, and we are fucking mistreating them horribly, okay? If you are a person with, like, progressive values, you look at that and you go, it's a crisis because we are mistreating these people that just simply want to better themselves and have a better future for themselves. Cartels are the issue, you say. Yeah, dude, cartels are the reason. Cartels are fucking forcing people to immigrate at gunpoint. Partially, yes. Partially, you are correct. Here's how you fucking eliminate the problem with cartels. How do cartels get their guns? We sell it to them. Why do cartels have so much money? We buy their fucking drugs. So if you want to eliminate or eradicate cartels, you can push them towards legalizing and becoming like legitimate corporate entities, right? And then legally sell the marijuana and the cocaine and whatnot by decriminalizing this shit in the United States or legalizing it altogether. Cartels own Mexico. Good luck with that, buddy. That's true. They fucking do. I'm not saying that that's not true. I admit that. But if you want to address that root cause, if you want to address that problem, well, the way to do that is by eradicating their main form of making money. Anyway.
Focus of Vice President Kamela Harris's first overseas trip since taking office.
She heads to Mexico today after spending yesterday in Guatemala, where she announced several initiatives and delivered a message to potential migrants there: do not come to the United States. The vice president also sat down exclusively with NBC's Lester Holt, who began by asking her about that warning.
In the news conference here in Guatemala City, you had a message for would-be migrants: don't come. Why should they believe you when they know that people are getting in?
I've been working on this issue for a very long time, and the kind of violence and danger that is associated with that trek, especially when we're talking.
Bro, this is literally, I've heard this from Republicans. I'm sorry. Like, this is the exact same take, dude. This is when Republicans say, oh, these parents are actually doing something that's terrible by putting their children up for this horrible trek. Don't come because, like, we care about your lives is another line that you hear from conservatives all the time. It's like just fucking virtue signaling. Like, literally. I mean, obviously she's not supposed to say, come over. Come over, boys. The doors are open. Like, obviously she can't fucking say that. This is what you wanted, though? Everyone that voted Biden literally supports this? Yeah, dude. Yeah, you fucking got me, dude. This is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. You're right. Instead, I should have fucking voted for the Green Party, dude. Which magically would have won the election. Thank you. When people say that, I wonder, like, what do they want from me? Do you want me to not criticize the Joe Biden administration then? Like, is that what you want me to do? Are you not allowed to criticize the Biden administration if you voted for them? My fucking brother says this shit like 3 times a fucking week. Ask them, like, what's the alternative? So your political principles are for sale then? Are they? Are my political principles for sale? They want you to say there is no difference? I mean, there isn't. In the way that we operate, in the way that the Democratic Party operates, there functionally isn't a significant difference between the way that the Trump administration ultimately was dealing with the immigration problem that they created and the Democratic Party. Like, they continue off of one another. It's not as gross, and it's not as in your face, and it's not as awful, and it's not as, like, purposely violent, but it's still incredibly violent. Like, you can touch on the aesthetics of the conversation and be like, it's actually very different. It's significantly different, but ultimately it's not. What's your opinion on the recent news of Native Americans? No, I don't have any on that. People would literally complain if you didn't vote and you criticize the government. You can't win either way. Dumb. Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care when people say one way or the other, like, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for, dude. Like, lol. Who cares? Wait till you hear them say you rallying for Bernie was also bad because he's not left enough. Yeah, I don't care. Those people are... People that say stuff like this are not serious people, and also there is no reason to take them seriously anyway. They have no power. So I'm not going to spend... I think that it's counterproductive for me to, like, yell at terminally online leftists. Like, straight up. Because just laugh and move on. Just laugh at them and move on. Be like, yeah, sorry that, like, you know, my perfect leftist candidate does not exist. Who cares? Yeah, people say that on the fucking... people say that on Twitter all the time. Okay, great. The online leftists are the ones who voted for Biden. Others said principles and dignity. Okay, dude, you have principles and dignity and you didn't vote for him. Okay, sick. That's great. Anyway.
From Guatemala through Mexico to the United States. It's extremely dangerous. We are looking at a situation where people are fleeing because of hunger, because of the hurricanes, because of the pandemic. So the reason I am here is to address those issues, knowing that the people who are here for generations, they want to stay. They don't want to leave. But they need opportunity, they need assistance, they need support.
Americans don't see a lot of that on a daily basis. What they do see at their own border, children being lowered over fences, children coming in with phone numbers stenciled on their hand. And so the question has come up, and you heard it here, and you'll hear it again, I'm sure. It's why not visit the border? Why not see what Americans are seeing in this crisis?
Well, we are going to the border. We have to deal with what's happening at the border. There's no question about that. That's not a debatable point. But we have to understand that there's a reason people are arriving at our border and ask what is that reason, and then identify the problem so we can fix it.
Let's talk about the corruption issue. You're notably not visiting El Salvador or Honduras, where you have leaders who have had links to...
I had to fix my light. My light broke. Why don't you go to the border? Why don't you go to the border? Like, what are you going to do, bro, when you look at the border? Like, what are you going to see? I just don't... I find this to be fucking stupid, too. Like, you have to go to the border and see the problem there firsthand. Okay. Just look at it, dude. Look at the border. Okay, I'll just look at the border and fucking take photos at the border.
The corruption. Do you have enough reliable partners in this northern triangle, in this region, to do what needs to be done?
So, we are doing the work in the region as a whole. We've been engaged as an administration, as a country, at a high level with leaders in all three of the countries.
So what specifically are you offering these countries you're visiting? Is there a quid pro quo? If you do this, we'll do this?
No, it's not about quid pro quo. It's simply about understanding, if nothing else, that the return on our investment is the same return on your investment that if you have a neighbor on your block where you grew up who's having a hard time, it's in the best...
Dude, I can't. God damn. Dude, Kamala Harris is like kind of really bad at being charismatic. It's wild. Like, I really would have... I mean, dude, you have everything, dude. The main guy is literally like fucking half dead half the time. Like, how? Just do better, dude. What the fuck? Do better. How are you so fucking bad? Fucking sucks. Elizabeth Warren got so much more than her. I mean, Elizabeth Warren got fucking brutalized in her own state, and so did Kamala Harris. So, I mean, it didn't even count. I don't think she was running by the time we got to California in the primaries, but still.
Interest not only of your neighbor, but yourself to help them out, right? And that's how we think about this work. What is the United States' interest in this? We're prepared to show up and do it in a way that is motivated by the best interest of diplomacy and democracy and goodwill.
So how quickly does this change what we see at the border?
There's not going to be a quick fix. We're not going to see an immediate return, but we're going to see progress. The real work is going to take time to manifest itself. Will it be worth it? Yes. Will it take some time? Yes.
President Biden, as vice president, led a very similar effort. What's significantly different about what you're doing this time?
I'm building off of what the president, then Vice President Joe Biden, did at that time, but also understanding that...
She needs to smile more, right? That's literally not what I'm saying. It's kind of weird of you, a fucking 10-month subscriber, to like try to make it seem like I'm saying that like a female politician is not like sexy enough or is not smiling enough, when like she can't even fucking... She smiles too much. Thank you for the 69 gift subs, Cash App. She smiles too fucking much whenever she gets nervous. And also on top of that, like, she's just not doing a good job. Like, she's just not doing a fucking good job describing this shit. At least Joe Biden is like, whenever she's talking, or whenever Joe Biden talks about a particular issue, at least every now and then, you'll hear him like say some fucking completely psychotic nonsense. Like, completely psychotic nonsense. Like, yeah, Jack, Guatemalan's good because it's got the hottest babes, Jack. That's why we got to make sure that the hot babes are coming from Guatemala. And you're like, what the fuck? At least it's like somewhat entertaining. And then like, you know, people are just like, oh, that's just good old Joe, dude. He's just being Joe. Wow, really popped off with the misogyny there, Hasan. You were right. She wants people to not come in a weird freak-like liberal way. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. She said, do not come. And that's the fucking main point of the... It's literally what she's saying, not how she looks. The chatter is self-reporting. Yeah, her sentiment expressed here is like not great. It's already a hard-ass thing to fucking describe the dumbasses to be like, we are partially responsible for the mass immigration that's happening, and it's going to actually become a problem in the future because of climate change destroying all manner of agricultural production. This 180 for Dems on immigration policies coming from political consultants for years telling top Democrats to get as reactionary on immigration as Republicans because they have to preserve the economic status quo of global North-South while realizing its current effects on immigration were inevitable. Yeah. I've said this so many times, folks. It's just like there's only one way that you can deal with this, okay? There's only one way that you can deal with this. Well, there's two ways, technically, but there's only one ethical way that you can deal with it. You either accelerate the cruelty and keep, like, making it so unmanageable to come to the United States that, like, you will get fucking murdered. Eventually, you'll be put in a concentration camp and get murdered. And that will deter you from coming across the border. Or you choose or you make it so that people don't even want to go to America because, like, they don't want to make the trek. They don't want to come to America because they are fine back home. Okay? And economic stability and political stability back home will stop people from wanting to come to the United States. If they have opportunity, they will. Dude, I got that Vice released it, dude. Holy shit. It, like, literally just came out. Why don't you guys calm down for a second?
There's more updates on this story.
Jesus fucking Lord mercy. You guys are crazy. Okay? We will look at this in a second. Okay? Oh, wait. That's wrong. Let's keep going.
This moment is different in many ways. Take, for example, the pandemic. One of the first things we as a nation were
Dude, what a freak, dude.
able to offer Guatemala was support with their vaccines. I've made a commitment, and we announced it last week, of 500,000 vaccines to Guatemalans. Part of what we were doing is
oh, fuck. Before we get to this, by the way, I have to... Your name is on the mic? Yeah, it is. Like right here. Before we get to that, I do have to run an ad. So, top of the hour, every hour, it's time for a 6-second ad break. This is the first of the day. If you'd like to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Get those fucking primers out, boys. Adderall? What? Yeah, no transition. Shut up. I'm just running an ad break now. Okay, we're gonna continue with the video right now, but the ad break is coming. Here it is.
I've asked Microsoft to partner with us on what we can do to get people access to banking systems through technology and basically help them with their digital connectiveness. But the bones of the work, really, it's the same. Let's see the people, let's see their needs, and let's focus on it and understand our responsibility.
Why will it be successful this time if it wasn't in the past?
Well, I think there was success about what happened in the past. And again, when you look at what we're doing now, you're seeing progress. And so let's not overlook progress.
Just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border.
She gets so frazzled. That's the other thing. Like, she gets so frazzled and is, like, for some weird reason, not, like, super confident. Just be like, yeah, I'm going to go to the border.
Been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congress.
Just like, this is a great opportunity to be like, what do you want me to do at the border? Do a fucking photo op just like Ted Cruz did? Is that what you want? Is that going to solve the problem? Like, I think she could literally be like, I'm currently on a fucking trip to every South American country. Okay? Like, clearly I'm doing something right now. It might not be the best thing. Maybe not a lot of people agree with what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. I'm the fucking vice president. Do you want me to go and do a photo op at the border? Are you going to shut the fuck up if I do that? No, because all of these fucking reactionaries that are crying about like me not going to the border are the same energy, are literally just like throwing out the same exact energy as people who are freaking out over the caravan. Threatening them directly in their home countries is definitely something. I'm just saying, even from a liberal standpoint, you could very easily flip this narrative. I'm portraying myself as a lib right now when I say, what do you want? Going to the border and taking photo ops at the wall is not going to change the immigration process in this country. Same reactionaries who criticized the squad for going to the border a few years back. Fantastic. Yeah, literally everyone made fun of AOC for crying at the border. Or not at the border, sorry, at an immigration detention facility. Everyone criticized her. And then Ted Cruz went and did the exact same thing, but on the other side. Aren't you also being a reactionary Andy? What? A reactionary Andy? No. Ultimately, this issue is not an issue. This issue is not a fucking issue. Like, immigrants coming into the country is not a problem, okay? It's just not. It is literally not a problem.
Congressman Cuellar, as a border district, has said to you and the president, come. You need to see this.
Listen, I care about what's happening at the border. I'm in Guatemala because my focus is dealing with the root causes of migration. There may be some who think that that is not important, but it is my firm belief that if we care about what's happening at the border, we better care about the root causes and address them. And so that's what I'm doing.
As mentioned, the vice president wraps up her trip in Mexico today, where she'll meet with the country's president. And Lester will.
She was also a senator and an attorney general from a state with a large border in Mexico. Yeah.
Have more of that exclusive interview tonight on.
Anyway, Kamala Harris is no genius, obviously. Obabe criticized the Republicans for embracing 2020 falsehoods. Yeah, I don't really care about Tucker Carlson's take on Kamala Harris. Like, Tucker Carlson is going to do what Tucker Carlson does and, like, vilify Kamala Harris and criticize her, not from a legitimate standpoint, but instead because she's, like, a liberal, 2, brown, so, and 3, woman. So, obviously, like, you know, Tucker Carlson is going to, like, belittle her, say she's fucking stupid, question her intelligence, despite the fact that what she's saying basically is what you would want a Republican to say as well. Bro, that Vice video is whacked. What, did you guys watch it already? It's not good? Anyway, let's see what Jen Psaki had to say, because, like, AOC, we're going back to the Kamala Harris thing. So AOC had a good take on the Kamala Harris situation after she was just like, don't come. After, in my opinion, she didn't do a good job at, like, addressing the root causes at all. And AOC basically said, this is disappointing to see. She's great. She had a good take here. This is disappointing to see. Let's just watch the Kamala Harris take first.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back. So let's discourage our friends, our neighbors, our family members from embarking on what is otherwise an extremely dangerous journey. I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back. So let's discourage our friends, our neighbors, our family members from embarking on what is otherwise an extremely dangerous journey. I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border.
Okay, dude. I'm sorry. But wait, where is the I fucking hate that like I can't find the link to the K-Hive theme song. It's like gone. Where is the other, like, where is K-Hive? Like, where is Satch's K-Hive? Does anyone have the song? Oh, you found it. Okay, good.
Border. I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come.
These is like literally been training themselves.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws.
Wait, hold on. Wait, where is the part?
On the internet. Within the Democrat.
Where is it? Is it the second part?
Harris, she wants.
Yeah.
Kamela Harris wants to vaccinate your children in the ass to make them all.
Wait, hold on. I found it.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come.
Come, more like Kamela Harris. She wants to make you never come
The United
again.
States
But
will
not in a
continue.
puritanical, good Christian way, but in a weird, freak-like, liberal kind of way.
I saw the future, boys! Tell me that was not the fucking future, dude.
Welcome to the cum zone.
And I believe if you come to the border, you will be turned back. So let's
I fucking pre-watched the future, dude.
that dangerous.
Anyway. Kamala Harris wants to make you never come again. Like, someone has to cut that, dude. Someone has to cut that after she goes, do not come. Do not come. With the drop, like. How is that any different than what Trump would say, except for the lip aesthetics? That's it. It's literally it. This is why you said you aren't a journalist? Yeah, imagine like normies being like, oh, this Hasan guy said he's a journalist. And then they come onto my broadcast and then this is what they see. Me dancing to a fucking thing I said that turned into a song in this community about how Kamala Harris wants to never make you come again.
Do not come.
What is this?
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. We must come together.
You know, that's just it's not that different. So so that's what, oh Jesus Christ, that was a big ass sneeze. So that's what AOC responded to this and said, understandably. This is disappointing to see. First, seeking asylum at the U.S. border is a 100% legal method of arrival. Second, the U.S. spent decades contributing to the regime change and destabilization in Latin America. We can't help set someone's house on fire and then blame them for fleeing. It would be helpful if the U.S. would finally acknowledge its contributions to the destabilization and regime change in the region. Doing so can help us change U.S. foreign policy, trade policy, climate policy, and carceral border policy to address causes of mass displacements and migration. And people were literally like, I saw fucking responses of like liberals. I saw responses from liberals that were just unironically the exact same as like, what the fuck? What is happening? Why is this like every time I scroll, it's like closing off? We are overwhelmed and need to slow down the number of people coming. Like, it's uBlock? Oh, okay, got it. There were so many liberals responding to her being like, you're fucking wrong. Like, Twitter deployed dogshit code. Mine started doing that a few hours ago too. Okay. So, you know, it's not surprising that AOC had this take. Let's see what Jen Psaki had to do for damage control here. Let's hear it.
What the vice president was simply conveying is that there's more work to be done, that we don't have these systems in place yet. It's still a dangerous journey, as we've said many times from here and from many forums.
Bro, this is literally the same shit that Republicans say. I'm sorry. Republicans also, on top of that, add that, like, Republicans at least give you a reason for why you shouldn't have immigrants in this country. That reason is wrong. It's false. It's white nativist. It's white supremacist in nature. Okay? Like, they'll say, like, well, you're fucking wrong. Your culture is bad. You're fucking rapists and drug dealers. That's the reason why we don't want you here. Liberals won't say that part. Liberals won't mention that, you know, we're scared of immigrants coming in. It is factually incorrect, by the way. I need to state this again. It's factually incorrect. What Republicans are stating is factually incorrect. But the counter to that is what the counter to that should be, this is a falsehood, that immigrants are not causing additional crime in this country, and they're not a burden overall, and that if you wanted to actually adjust to the labor prices, like, then we should legalize all the immigrant labor in this country and allow them to participate in the labor market as well as the native-born U.S. citizens do, so that everyone's wages can increase, right? So that's what the actual counter is supposed to be. Not that, like, not the refusal to say the reactionary things while simultaneously continuing with the right-wing policies.
Before, and we need more time to get the work done to ensure that asylum processing is where it should be.
Anyway, legalizing all labor in the U.S. will decrease wages because of the increase in supply of labor. Dude, you are so stupid, dude. That is the fucking most delusional, tiny-brained argument I've ever heard. Even fucking white supremacists like Tucker Carlson have a better understanding of why this move would actually, why undocumented labor actually decreases wages for all workers in this country than you do. Oh my God, dude. That's so incorrect. You are so wrong. The undocumented labor pool is a never-ending, constantly refilling pool of labor that big businesses can use against the documented labor pool. That's why the labor market can never be super tight. It's one of the many reasons, obviously. where labor could make demands to increase their wages. What you're referencing is not even basic economics. Like, you literally have misunderstood Econ 101, if that's what you think. Undocumented labor is cheaper, okay? It's reliable and it's cheaper. So, of course, our agricultural production relies on having a steady stream of undocumented migrants in a permanent second-class citizenship status to continue to exploit. Wait, what? Oh my God, my fucking chat. Please apologize for not seeing a gator. I'm very upset. Okay, I'm sorry for not seeing a gator in Florida. Anyway, Gomer, she's having a girl boss night, so libs are happy. RCN White House reporter Jazz J. Wright reports VP Kamela Harris has invited every female U.S. senator for dinner to her Naval Observatory residence on June 15th. If everyone attends, the guest list would consist of 24 female senators, 16 Democrats, and 8 Republicans. I don't understand. I mean, who gives a shit? Like, this is so stupid. Okay, great. They turned your video into a Shark Tank introduction video, to be honest, the Vice people, because the content itself is supposed to be about, like, entrepreneurs. The Vice video is supposed to be about, like, entrepreneurs in the media space. That's why it's, like, so hyper-focused on the entrepreneurial aspect. Okay? That's what it is. Anyway, North Carolina farms needed 6,500 workers 1 year less than 300 legal citizens applied. Only 7 lasted the full season. We rely so heavily on undocumented labor. Yeah. 1,000%. I mean, but this is the entirety of the Western world. Like, for example, the UK relies on Polish migrant labor, right? So when Brexit means Brexit, bruv, occurred, the UK during COVID shut off their borders to outside travel, and then had to make exceptions for Polish migrants because their agricultural production was suffering from a lack of easily exploitable Polish and Romanian, easily exploitable migrant labor in the UK. So that's the truth. And that's always the truth. If you want to fix something, you can fix the requirement that people come for agricultural work don't need to be employed 80% of the time because agriculture is highly seasonal. They should be more flexible in terms of work visas. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Illegal immigrants obviously don't stay because we pay the undocumented immigrants like dog shit. What? Wait, Crowder responded to H3H3 again? What the fuck? That's so stupid. He's such a pussy for not debating Crowder. So why is he saying now? Anyway. So what frustrates me about this entire process is like the obvious consequences of not addressing the falsehoods that revolve around the red herring that is immigration being a burden on the American economy when it's the exact opposite. Okay, so that's really fucking annoying. What did I say? Steven Crowder should debate Sam Cedar. Did I say it incorrectly? What did I say? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I'm more focused on... Okay. I'm more focused on something else right now. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, that's not, like, that important. Just chill. Anyway, he's a pussy for not debating Crowder. Steven Crowder's a pussy for not debating Cedar. Sam Cedar. Anyway, so if the Trump administration said something along those lines, and they have before, people would rightfully say that's fucking bullshit. Okay? So, oh shit. So why the fuck do we treat Kamala Harris differently? I mean, it's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I think it's absolutely bullshit and pathetic that the media has a totally separate kitty glove for treating the liberal the liberal administration, and their criticisms of a liberal administration are oftentimes from the right. Like, there is never a left-leaning criticism of the media. It's so weird, or of the administration. They only fucking criticize. The media collectively will get up in arms and get upset and say, like, why is Joe Biden not addressing the migrant crisis at the border? Like, it's a big crisis. Immigrants are coming. They're taking our jobs. It's like, what the fuck? Last year, you were literally doing specials over and over again, crying in tears about, like, our mistreatment of migrants at the border and shit like that. All of a sudden, now you're like, why isn't the Biden camp doing more in murdering migrants? Like, what happened? Is that the only way that you can criticize an administration, is like by just, taking whatever the opposing argument is? Anyway. People don't give a flying fuck about immigrants unless they're making money. What is your take on Ben Shapiro? He fucking sucks. He's terrible. Because they're objective centrists. They're not, but they're not like even centrists. They're center right always. They act like they're, center left when there's a Republican in office, but they're always center or center right. And that's why Republicans will regularly criticize the media and be like, why didn't you complain when Obama did all this? And they're fucking right. So if you hate Republicans like I do, and you want professional Republicans to look silly and clownish, don't give them a talking point like this by being this like wishy-washy center-right lib Andy. It's very frustrating to see. It really just annoys the fuck out of me. Okay, do it for no reason other than the fact that, like, you don't want Republicans to look correct. How about that? Weiss made a video a few years back called Sweet Home Alabama and highlighted the economic impact of pushing out Hispanic workers. They don't put kids in cages, though? Yes, they put them in migrant overflow facilities, not cages. But Obama did put the kids in cages originally. Obama built the cages, Trump filled the cages, okay? Anyway, all right. If you want to understand how fucking right-wing the media is, literally look to their coverage of unemployment right now. Like, they keep posting how, like, unemployment insurance or additional benefits that the government is offering in the form of welfare and unemployment insurance is like, or additional funds that like states are supplying until September are actually destroying the labor market and not allowing businesses to fucking thrive now because no one wants to work. And like, they never turn around and say, wait, maybe the business should offer more, like higher, more competitive wages. Like, they never do that. It's never government interfering with the market when the government is literally fucking helping subsidize businesses. It's always the government is interfering with the market if they're doing what the government is supposed to do, which is help people, okay? Like, social safety nets and welfare policies are supposed to not be motivators for you to go back to fucking work, but instead help you survive, okay? So when the welfare actually focuses on the welfare of American citizens, all of a sudden you have everyone in fucking commerce lose their shit and get super fucking mad. It's so frustrating, dude. Anyway, capitalism is only bad for the lazy? Yeah, right, dude. I know, dude. those lazy ass fucking servers that work at this shit ass restaurant. They have to put up with you and all the other hogs all goddamn day long. The 10-hour retail jobs where you're constantly on your feet. You're constantly trying to fucking dodge dipshits coughing on you, yelling at you over and over again. These like fucking little small business tyrants that come in and treat and lord over you and treat you like a piece of shit. That's capitalism is not rewarding them because they're just fucking lazy. Great take, by the way. Great take. Anyway, let's watch what Obama had to say about Republicans embracing 2020 falsehoods. Let me just say something about Obama too. I got some fucking takes for Obama as well. Yeah, I'm back, dude. I'm back. I haven't done a lot of politics in a while, so I think there's a big new audience. So welcome to the new friends. If you are unfamiliar, I am a equal opportunity shitter. Okay, I think that the Democrats suck ass, and I think the Republicans are demons. Okay, so here you will get a newfound appreciation for me after this coverage, probably.